Hi beautiful friends, I hope you're doing well and that you had a wonderful day. In today's video, I want to share with you a technique or a realization that will help you get anything you want. Here's a secret. The secret is that everybody speaks a different language. Even when you speak the same language, like whether you speak English or maybe you speak Dutch or any type of language, you still speak a different language even within a household, even within your own family. And the reason I'm saying this is because due to our experiences, we experience things differently, and so we associate different feelings to different types of words. Some people may be triggered by some types of words, or I will give you a couple of examples. So, as I said, I grew up feeling like I didn't fit a mold. And my parents would often call the bad guys in Disney movies, for example, or in any type of movie. They would say, "This is a bad guy." We call that in Vietnamese "thằng dữ." But when I would get angry or when I would express myself, they would often say, "Why are you so bad? Why are you so? Tại sao Mỹ dữ?" So they would say, "May, why are you so bad?" And so that's how I understood things. I thought my parents find me a bad person. And so I grew up believing that I was never good enough and that I actually was a bad person. This really has influenced my psyche. And it's only recently that I've discovered and that I've understood that my parents meant that I was getting excited. Because we use the same word in Vietnamese for excitement and bad, I guess. And so, because they use the same word for different meanings, I had grew up understanding that they find me a bad person, which is so sad, right? But that's a very specific case, I can imagine you saying. But I've once had a discussion with my friend, and I was telling her that I was so excited about the classes that I took, and I was taking some self-help classes. I was taking some courses on Mind Valley. I was super pumped about it, and I said, this really pushes me to become a better person, it pushes me to go further and further. And she looked at me really strangely, and she was like, I don't know. When you feel pushed, I feel like it's a bad thing. I hate to be pushed. And I had to explain to her that by being pushed, I meant that when I said I'm pushed to be better, that I'm inspired to be better, that I feel motivated to do more for myself. And that's when she realized and it clicked for her, because for her, the word being pushed has really triggered her. And there are many other examples like that. I know a lot of friends who define things just differently. So maybe I say, I once told a friend, she said to me, I get tired when I'm around a lot of people. And I said, yeah, that's normal because you're kind of introverted. But because she felt triggered about that word and she thought that being introverted is something bad, she said, I'm not introverted. I am a very, very social person. So I'm super extroverted. I'm the most extroverted person that I know. And I'm like, okay. I'm not gonna argue with you. But for me, the definition of being extroverted or introverted just means that if you are with a lot of people and that it drains your energy and that you need some time to recuperate, for me that's being introverted. It doesn't mean that you're not social and that you can't have a lot of friends. It just means that you need to gather some energy again because it drains you to be around a lot of people, which is my case. So I can tell that I'm a very sociable person. I like to be around people, but I'm also introverted, which means that it takes me some time to, recharge again. But she doesn't see that way, and she was really, really, really triggered by that word. And from the moment I understood that that was her definition, I stopped trying to be right. I let her have her definition, and I'm like, okay, if you've defined it that way, then you're very, very extroverted. All right. Um, but the secret is that when you understand that everybody understands words in a very different way, and that you can play in on that, you can actually obtain what you want. You just need to understand how people roll. You need to understand how people speak. If they speak in a certain language and that certain words that will trigger them. I have a friend who really doesn't like anything woo-woo or anything that has anything to do with energy work or non-scientific stuff. Okay, I'm not going to talk about non-scientific stuff with her, right? I'm going to stay in the lane of scientific research. And with people who are a lot more open-minded about the spiritual stuff, I will speak more about spiritual stuff with them. But I don't know if you've read the book How to Influence People, How to Get Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Such a wonderful book. I've been reading it, I'm still reading it, but there are a lot of gems in there. But when you learn how to communicate with the people around you and that you know how they roll and what words actually trigger them, you can actually use other words that mean exactly the same thing without triggering those people. You will get what you want. They will be more prone to listen to you than when you use the words that trigger them, obviously. So it's really key to learn to communicate with them correctly, and when you learn to master this, honestly, the world is your oyster. So that was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any stories to share, please share it in the comments below. If you have any topics you would like me to discuss, please write it down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!